And the Oscar for Best Public Address Announcer goes to Chuck Morgan, everybody. He's our guest today. The voice of Globe Life Field joins us next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. That's a smile of a birthday boy there, Adolis Garcia, and the Rangers offense rolling in spring training. Adolis turns 32 today, and this show is going to look a little bit more like Wayne's World today as Jeff and I sit here and go, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. We have Chuck Morgan in the house today. Chuck, it's great, and thank you so much for coming by.
Glad to be here, and it's great to get an Oscar. You know, last night I watched the show, and I was really shocked when there was a group that got an Oscar from Mick Jagger, and I told my wife, I said, "Why are we a little more excited about getting an Oscar from Mick Jagger
I thought the same thing
than the emotion that was shown?" But anyway, no, it's great to be here.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you. Chuck's going to get to many of the promotional items that will be given away to you if you simply buy a ticket at Globe Life Field for a Rangers game this year. That's coming up a little later in the show. First, though, a reminder: like us, subscribe to us. Chat with us. Ask Chuck a question. We got story time with Chuck coming up a little later too, and he's a great storyteller. The Prophet's here, J-Dub's here, of course, and it's been an exciting spring training, Chuck. We were doing the show Friday, showing all the home runs the Rangers have hit already, and then they exploded for even more this weekend.
I hope that is something that happens during the season quite a bit. I know we're all excited. We think we've got a pretty good team, and I think the folks that come out to the games, I think if you're a Ranger fan, I really think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, no, it's you look at the starting pitching too. It's been really good this spring outside of our Kumar Rocker, and everybody knows what Kumar Rocker is capable of. The starters have been fantastic. So I mean, it's the best of both worlds right now.
No doubt about that. And when you talk about power, and this is one of the things. You can talk about power pitchers, right? And the weekend or the game that I think it was yesterday that Teodo got in there, and he threw a 100.8 mile an hour sinker, Chuck, for a strike. Kid hit what he hit. He hit triple digits like 6 times in a half inning.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of him in the Futures game last year before the All-Star game, and then there's another guy, not a pitcher. But, man, I love watching Sebastian Walcott.
Yeah.
And he's a lot like Wyatt Langford. He can stretch what should have been a single into a double pretty quick.
Yeah, he sure can. And he hit one 115 miles an hour off the bat. He ended up, it stayed in the infield.
Yeah.
And he reached on an error. Amazing.
That's a tough error. It really is.
is.
You go stand in front of a 115 mile per hour ground ball and see how you fare with it. Yeah, that's a tough scoring system. But I don't think they have the exit velos available at spring training games. So I don't know. And I don't know if official scorers even look at exit velos, but they should these days. If the information's there, it's 115 miles per hour, and you want to say that this guy should have fielded it. How many 115 mile balls are hit at them?
I think you're right. I think if a guy sees that somebody hit one that hard, then you got to say, that especially if I got down to first base and looked up the scoreboard, I thought, that's a hit. I know Will Clark would. So.
Oh boy, would he? Yeah, Chuck's seen it all and had relationships with all of them. Chuck, are you now the longest tenured PA announcer in baseball? Do you know?
No, and Jeff probably has seen the guy. I mean, you have it. Dan Baker in Philadelphia has been there for like 51 years.
Okay,
I have the longest consecutive streak of not missing a game. But Dan's like in his 51st year with the Phillies.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's a long. And what is this going to be for you?
This will be 43 for me.
43.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Dan's got to be getting old. I'm just saying.
He's got to be. I mean, I'm getting old, and I know he's been there a long time. But everybody asks me when you gonna quit, and I'll make a joke and say something about they'll just carry me out here in a box. But when I start messing up names and numbers, I told either my wife or my crew, I said, hey, if I start making a lot of mistakes, let me know, and I'm just going to go home and fish or something.
Right.
So, but,
Quietly
but hey,
ride off into the sunset.
but
Yeah.
both of you guys know I work at a ballpark every day, and that, you can't beat that.
No.
So
Yeah.
I'll be there as long as I can.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you played through like neck surgery for crying out loud. So I think your toughness has been proven. So let's keep it going.
No
here.
doubt. And what was it? You were enshrined. Your microphone was enshrined in Cooperstown for the 3,000th game.
3,000 straight game, and then I did the 2020 World Series, which, with the Dodgers and the Rays, and the Hall of Fame called John Blake and said we want Chuck's microphone, and it's sitting there today in the sacred ground section, and it sits between a megaphone that was used by a guy named Pat Piper at Wrigley Field back in the 20s, and then on the other side is Bob Shepard's microphone from the original Yankee stadiums.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
You're rarefied air there. And is the megaphone, is that the guy who inspired you to move your broadcast booth down?
The guy, that wasn't not in Chicago, but the guy that inspired me was Charlie Jones, not the guy that did play-by-play back in the day, but he was the announcer at Sportsman's Park and Busch Stadium. And Charlie Jones sat right behind the plate, and I asked my dad, why is he down there? And he said, well, he used to have to step onto the field and announce with a megaphone. And I told the architects that, and the architects knew I had a studio similar to what I've got now at the Opryland Hotel my last couple of years working there. And they came up with that studio, and it's unbelievable. It's really, really a nice place to work and difficult place to work, but as a joke. But no, I get to talk to a lot of fans and shake hands.
And that's the thing, fans, you ought to know. Chuck greets people before and after every game, right?
Yeah, I open up about an hour before I have to start working, and I talk to fans, and then after the game I go back to my old hillbilly days when I would MC a county fair or something with a country star, and I'd watch those guys just sit and sign autographs and talk to people forever. And I just stay there till the last person leaves. Security's not really happy with me sometimes, but the fans are.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I've had the pleasure of being up in that booth where Chuck, does the PA from, and it's the best seat in the house.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's the best seat in the house. It's just awesome. So it's for you, I know, been a labor of love. But you mentioned the hillbilly days and the Grand Ole Opry and all those places where you did work. Of course, back in the day, we always used to say Chuck also appeared on Hee Haw. Does it make you mad at all that when you say that now, people go, "What's Hee Haw?"
No, that doesn't bother, because I've been around a long time, and I was a young guy back then, and Hee Haw had its day. It still shows up every now and then on RFD or something, but it was a great experience, and met a lot of great people through that. But the way I got on there was they would tape in June and October twice a year. Hee Haw would, at the Opryland area, and the producer was a guy named Sam Lavello, and Sam, I had him on for a couple of years before he said anything about being on there, and one night he just said, "Hey, have we ever had you on?" I said, "No," and he said, "Well, come over tomorrow, overalls, dressing room, we'll take care of you." And what it turns out, John, that Sam Lavello is the father of Torey Lavello.
No kidding.
Yeah, who's managing the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and played in the majors himself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fantastic. I didn't know that.
good.
That's a great sort of full circle thing.
Yeah.
And so when you see Torey,
Oh yeah, when I went down during the World Series, and
Yeah.
and he had known I'd worked at Hee Haw, knew his dad, so
that's pretty cool. Is his dad still alive?
no, he's
No,
not.
yeah, not with us anymore. So such a cool life, and I think a lot of people would have thought, and I know I've heard you ask many times before, how do you leave something as big as the Grand Ole Opry and a national radio show and Hee Haw to come to at that time, kind of struggling major league team?
John, a couple of years ago, my sons were real small when I worked there, and they don't remember me carrying them out on the stage and the crowd cheering and stuff. And my son said, how'd you leave this?
Yeah.
'Cause they looked at that and saw all of the things that we did, and I first turned the job down. A guy named Larry Schmittou, who was a coach at Vanderbilt University and then started the Nashville Sounds baseball team. And in my spare time, I did PA for the Nashville Sounds and also for Vanderbilt football, basketball, baseball. And I first turned Larry down because, like you said, I had a lot of things going on. I was Opry announcer. I just won the CMA DJ of the Year, appearing on Hee Haw, and then the Opryland or the Nashville Network was just starting up, and I hosted a lot of shows on there that they were turning them out like popcorn, which I think played a role in me leaving, because that last year I would go to work to do some TV shows at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't get home sometimes till 3 or 4 the next morning because I had to do my radio show at night. So never had a vacation till I came here. But the biggest thing is I thought, okay, when I'm 60 years old, am I going to still be playing records on the radio? And I just I called Larry back and said, hey, and I've always been a baseball fan, love baseball, and I came down here, and I never have looked back because I've really had a great time, and the Opry's changed over the years, not like it was when I was there. Radio's changed a lot, as you guys know, and so that's. I feel like I made a good decision.
You're not 60 yet, are you, Chuck?
Huh?
You're not 60.
Hey, this coming Thursday, you talk about Adolis, Garcia. My birthday's Thursday.
Okay.
70.
Right. 70. That's a big one.
The big one. Yeah.
That is a big one. That's fantastic. All right, we got to talk a little bit more about this team. Let's take a look at today's lineup and see. It's spring training, but I think it was yesterday there was a lineup that was kind of reminiscent, or a preview of what we might see a lot during the regular season. And anyway, it's just nice to see Josh Young had his first home run yesterday. Jake Berger hits a bomb on the day he comes back from Penelope's surgery. And then I guess yesterday or the day before, whenever he hits the second one, that's the day she came home from the hospital. So,
is that right?
Man, it's really fun, though. This looks, and Jeff, geez, look at there. The pitcher's your favorite guy, or one of them.
I'm telling you, Adrian Hauser, pretty good. That one wouldn't surprise me if he ends up somehow making this team. The issue is he doesn't have options. He's not on the 40-man roster. It's a minor league deal, but the guy's good, and when you think about depth pieces, if you think about last year at the end of spring training, there was concerns about the depth, and that's really why I think Jose Urena made the team.
Yeah,
because they didn't want him to take an out or go somewhere else because he'd pitched well enough to get a job somewhere else. So Adrian Hauser, he's from Oklahoma, and so the Rangers were his team. His dad was a huge Nolan Ryan fan. Remember I was telling you, Adrian had told me that his dad has a picture or something of Nolan and the 7 catchers who caught the no-hitters, autographed.
Wow.
So big Rangers fan. So he's hoping he can make the team in some capacity, and because he's close to home, and I think it means something to the family. In addition to
Chuck, who are you most excited about watching? For a full season for the first time this year among the new guys.
I don't know if there's one guy in particular like that. I'm a Jake Berger as a Ranger. I want to see that. Jock Peterson as a Ranger.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah,
but I'm a baseball guy that loves to watch Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, and Jacob deGrom. I really want to. I'm hoping we get like 30 starts out of him or something. Which, if that happens, and that means things are going pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I'm just a fan, John. So it really doesn't. I like the Stars.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you were there, and I was there too. I'm sure Jeff was there too. The night that Jacob deGrom got hurt. I believe it was against the Yankees.
I was not there, but yes,
you weren't there.
Okay,
yeah, it was against the Yankees, and the air just went out of that place. You could feel it.
Yeah.
And it'll be so much fun to watch. When he's healthy, I think he's still the best pitcher on the planet.
He's got my vote.
That used to be my favorite activity. Go to Tiger Stadium, get a $2 bleacher seat, and then like in a day game, getaway day game, and like Jeff said, just move everywhere.
Yeah.
just go here, there, or anywhere, and we'd end up in the box seats. We'd kind of talk our way into anywhere. So, all right, Chuck and I normally have done this for many, many years when I was at Fox and then at Bally, where we kind of introduce the promotional items. Now, what we've normally done is we do it, and it's supposed to fit within the confines of what would normally be a commercial break on the network, or the network telecast of a spring training game. So every time you get two long-winded guys like us out there, and they say, all right, we got to have all this in 2 minutes. What the hell? But now we got plenty of time, Chuck. So where do we want to start?
I think we'll start with a bobblehead.
Oh, good.
And this one is early in the season. That's the reason I could bring it, because it's early in the season. This day and age, you have to let these guys know. We start planning for this first initial meeting we have, which is the best meeting in the world. Always, it's kind of like I figure a Saturday Night Live meeting would be with the writers
table,
stuff that gets thrown out.
Yeah,
but that's the best meeting I have with Krista Reicher's in there and Zach Geist, and we just hammer out some ideas of what we would do. But you got to let them know early. And in fact, for something that you're going to give away in April, we've got to have it in October, which a year ago was tough because we had played almost till November.
Sure.
So we had a tough year. But bobbleheads are still a hot item. And
that's good.
This one here is the Peagle. It's not really a bobblehead. It's got bobble wings.
Yeah, I like that.
But that should be a real hot item. And I think that's on a Friday, the 4th of April, against Tampa Bay.
That is cool.
That's after the first road trip.
Because it's just so much different than all the other. I mean, and you guys do a great job. You do a great job of coming up with different ways to make the bobbleheads. What is that, a Pudge one down there? Oh, no, that's
Jonah Heim.
Jonah with the gold glove on it. Or, we've got a Corey Seager one back here holding the trophy. I'll still remember when you gave a Michael Young one day and a Ian Kinsler one the other day, and they came together because they were the keystone, the double play combination.
They joined together. Later in the year, there's going to be, which I'm looking forward to this one. We're still celebrating that World Series, is a Bruce Bochy bobblehead, but he's going to be in a car. It's the Bruce Bochy Parade.
Nice
bobblehead.
Yeah.
So
very good. Yeah,
right. I remember seeing that one.
I like that. And a Bruce Bochy bobblehead means that the head is actual size.
Right? You'll notice that.
You'll
notice that.
Yeah.
Here, let me do the.
I'll tell you another one I'm excited about. It's later in the season. I'm trying to see what. This is in July. It's against Detroit, and we've been talking about doing this for a couple of years, and we finally. The thing about when you win the World Series, it's kind of handed to you what you got to do. So this went on hold for a couple of years, but this is a pickleball paddle, and it'll be given on a Friday night when we wear the City Connects.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm looking forward to that. I think
that's cool. Let me hold that for a minute.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good quality stuff there. Yeah, you can actually play a.
Yeah, that's kind of what they used on me in the 6th grade. When you get,
that's right. That's right. If any kids act up during this game,
it doubles as a
see some
deterrent. Yeah, it's good.
And we haven't forgot about the rings. We've still got a couple of rings this year.
Yeah.
This is we didn't get a chance to do everybody last year, so this will be the Josh ring, or the Josh Young World Series ring. And so it turns out pretty good.
I got one of them last year. I don't remember which replica, but people see it sitting on my desk at home, and they're like, "Whoa, is that?" I mean, they really do look, and they feel real. And then I tell them, "Well, try to open it," because it doesn't open like the real ones do. But those are worth it. And last year you had lines around the building to get those things.
You had to get there early to get some of the items, because it was good.
Yeah.
And Jeff's got a hold of one. We've been trying to do this for a couple of years. A lot of folks had asked us to do a fanny pack, and we finally got that on the schedule this year. I think that's early in the year. I think it's in May sometime. But we're happy about that. So
that's
finally
good.
Got that on the schedule.
Those are handy.
And then we got wearables and This is the last year of
Right.
this of these City Connects, because there'll be a new City Connect coming out. But this is will be on a Friday night. This is a City Connect hoodie with the red sleeves and everything. So
That's pretty cool.
That'll be
That's
pretty
really
nice.
That
cool.
one's pretty cool.
Does it actually button all the way up, or is it just
It does
buttons all the way up? Yeah,
all the way up.
yeah.
And then this is another hoodie. It's called the embossed hoodie. It'll be given away on a Sunday. So there we got the powder blue, and
It is.
It's
cool.
very soft.
Got the T, but you couldn't. You got to look to see it.
Yep.
Somehow that hoodie right there, when I see it, I think of Jonah Heim.
There you go.
He
That's
must
exactly
wear those
why.
a lot because that's who I think of when I see that.
Short sleeve hoodie.
Yeah.
But that thing is super soft.
Yeah.
But we got a great the thing about the schedule this year. This may be and Jeff and you know well, John. This may be the best schedule we've ever had. You got the Dodgers coming in.
Yep.
Cardinals, Phillies. I mean, it's a real good schedule. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Braves are coming.
Braves are coming in, but I'm excited about the Bruce Bochy World Series Parade bobblehead. There's two other items on there that we're honoring two guys this year that are very important to the history of the franchise. One is Elvis, who is retiring, and he's also going to go into the Rangers Hall of Fame. And that night he goes into the Hall of Fame on the 28th of June. There'll be a Elvis Andrus retirement bobblehead. And then in August 22nd, we're going to unveil the statue of Adrian Beltre, and then the next night we're giving away a replica of that statue.
Of the
So
statue.
Those are two good nights.
Do you know, and you probably can't reveal much, do you know what that statue looks like yet?
I have not heard about it yet. I know our marketing folks are working on it. My guess is, a lot of talk. I felt like it should be on one knee. So
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I think some fans thought, can we rub his head? I haven't heard if it's going to be able to.
Get a hand in there. Yeah.
I grew up near Springfield, Illinois, and there's out in front of Lincoln's tomb, there's a statue of Abe, and everybody rubs his nose before you go inside.
Oh, no kidding.
To see the museum and things.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
but,
that's great.
But my guess is it'll be. I'm thinking one knee would be my guess.
Seems like
Yeah.
a good option.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And the one you'd always think of for him. Yeah.
So the Elvis Anderson, this came up last week. The game time got changed to a day game because of TV. So it's still going to go on.
It'll still go on yet.
Okay.
Because we'll do the same type of presentation. Before.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys were like, oh, well, we got to change that.
Yeah, we have to. You got to figure out what Elvis's schedule is. The same way with Adrian, you got to say, okay, when can you be here? When you want to be here? So yeah.
And as a quick update on those, Jeff, I did check because we were wondering that day. The FS1 games that got announced, those can still be side by side. So the FS1 games that are on the schedule should still be available on the Rangers Sports Network, as they were back in the day with Bally and Fox before it. So that's interesting. How have you been involved at all, Chuck, in the whole process of pulling this network together? I mean, it's a huge undertaking, and we tell people all the time, man, the Rangers went the difficult route, not the easy route here, but it's going to pay dividends in the long term for the team, and I think for the fans.
Not like you say, not for the team, but for the fans. And I mean, the only input I've really had is because I get so much feedback from fans is can I see the Rangers play now? Because like my youngest son who lives out in Weatherford, he wasn't able to watch the Rangers, which is kind of weird. But from what I understand, and I asked again the question. I ask a lot of questions. I watch a lot of games on TV.
Yeah,
and the feedback I keep getting from ownership and everybody that's been involved in that, and somebody that's been real instrumental in that, and that real well, is Angie Swint.
Yep.
She's really done a heck of a job along with Jim Cochran and a lot of other folks. But that everybody in Dallas-Fort Worth is going to have an option to watch the Ranger, be able to watch Ranger baseball even in the 5-state territory. So that's awesome. That's going to be good.
Yeah, that's just fantastic.
So the Rangers announced this morning 3 more games have been picked up for national coverage. April 4th, Tampa Bay, the 25th at the Giants, and the 16th against the Astros. So 2 of the good games at San Francisco will be national games. So anyway, that's 11. So the Rangers now have 11 national games. So that means 151 on the network.
And there's a chance that they could still lose 6 more. You can have up to 17 selected by the national network. So, again, if they did at this juncture, it would probably be those that are picked up late in the year when races are hot and they've proven. Like, obviously, if there's 11 already, a lot of the network people are thinking there's going to be a good. They're reading what everybody is concluding, which is that the Rangers are going to be back to like they were in 2023.
Yeah, well, then that Astros series, 2 of the games will be national.
And so, who was the network that just picked these up today?
Apple TV.
So, are those still all Friday games?
Yes.
The Apple ones.
Yes, they are.
All right. So,
I guess that means Channel 33 loses 3 games.
Oh boy, yeah, they ain't gonna let. Well, but they only had home games.
Right.
Are they all 3 home?
Good point.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Good. So Channel 33 doesn't lose them. Well, they only get the home game, but they're excited. I've talked to a few people over there.
One thing, John, I've been in a lot of meetings where this has been discussed, and to watch, I'm really, I don't know if proud is the word, but our ownership really did a good job in getting way out in front of this, and it's going to be good for fans.
Yeah, it really is. And they were dedicated to one thing. Really, one thing, and you go, oh, the almighty buck. No, I mean, short term, year over year, I don't think they're going to make nearly as much this year. It's going to take a while to get traction. They were dedicated to getting the dadgum games to the fans.
Could see it.
Chuck Morgan's son in Weatherford, Texas, ought to be able to see the damn Ranger games. And I mean, I always have had DirecTV where they've always been.
Right.
So as long as I had that, but I knew so many people, neighbors and stuff by me that couldn't watch the game.
I've had so many people come in my booth. Hey, I can't see the games. What are you guys going to do about this? And you're right. The owners stepped up, and it was for the fans. So.
Yeah, they really did. So
we all silly like the mayor.